Hello, everybody. Welcome. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. I was booking a trip with Maria. We are going to go to a business event. So if you want to know where I'm going, you can send me a message and I'll fill you in and maybe you can meet me there. But that's why I was late. So hello. If you're on the replay, definitely go ahead and say hi. We, as always, will give it a minute just to have someone confirm that they can hear me and see me and that I'm able to see the comments. Okay? So I see a few of you live. So if you're on here live and you can hear me, could you please say hello? Hi, Bree. Awesome. Let's open this up over here. I couldn't actually see you on the live screen, so. Does anyone else go live from their computer? Because this has been my issue lately. Hi, Erin. How are you? Sorry, guys. Hold on. So I see a few of you live. So, okay. Perfect. I just have to open up this other screen so I can see your comments. You're super there and I can hear you well. I love that. Okay, let's dive into this. I have my notes right here. I have my travel notes on one side of this paper and my notes for the live stream on the other side. So, yes, booking tickets and flights and hotel for a trip Maria and I are going to do in October, where we are going to go to an event. So, I'll share more deets on that soon. So, today we are, oh yeah, Bree, I still mess with the setup. I know, and I keep forgetting, and then today I have an even better excuse. I was running late, so I was just like, whatever, let's just get on there as fast as we can, you know? So today we're talking about how do you attract ready-to-buy leads, clients, people through your content. So if you are seeing that you're attracting nobody, or very few people, this whole challenge is going to help you with that. So you're good. But especially if you're seeing that a lot of the people reaching out to you right now are not good fits. Maybe they're like really not good fits. Like, I don't even know why you reached out. Like, I don't even know how to help you, not good fit. But especially if you're seeing people who are not good fits in terms of your, like, you know, you read their message or their form or their application they're sending you or whatever, and you can just tell this is not a dream client for you. You can probably help them and work with them, but it's probably not going to be the best experience. And if you're attracting people who are maybe great fits, maybe decent fits, but do not have, do you know what I'm about to say? The money. Who's attracting people like that right now? And it's like, why does nobody have the money? Okay. That is what we're going to eliminate with today's training. So very excited about that because I know, honestly, a majority of people are attracting people like that right now. It's so common. And one thing I will say is that is our typical immediate response is we start saying, and I have clients come to me like this all the time. They get on the phone and they're like, I'm realizing nobody has the money, right? And it makes sense because that's all you're hearing from people is, I don't have the money, money's tight right now, I literally have no money, I don't have enough money, all those sorts of things. Hi, Erin. Guys, yes, say hello if you're here. I really, really, really do appreciate when you say hi. So that's what most people are attracting. And then we say, nobody has the money. That's not true. So please stop telling yourself that because all you're doing is making that true in your reality, okay? So it's funny because what we're talking about today is a languaging shift. Bree's like, guilty. We're talking about languaging shift, but the first languaging shift that has to happen is within you. So it's not that nobody has the money. It's that the people that you've been attracting in the recent past do not have the money or are not in an empowered position to realize that they do have the opportunity to do it. Either or. It could be both. Some people literally don't have the money. That's the truth. Okay? However, what do I want to say here? I'm like, do I want to talk more about that? I don't know. That's the biggest thing I think is that if we're going to move on, and I have mostly strategy for you today, but if you can't move through the fact that people do have the money and that this whole nobody has the money thing, nobody in my audience has the money, nobody in my audience is ambitious or committed or driven or whatever. Nobody's like me and likes to invest. Like none of that is true. That's just what you're attracting and seeing right now. That's what your words and energy are attracting right now. That's it. That's not the truth of the world, and especially not the truth of the internet and the people you have access to. Oh my gosh, Lakeisha, she says, oh my God, Taylor, I had a sale yesterday. Yes, that is so amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I'm so proud of you and pumped for you. And you literally, didn't you just get started yesterday? You started the challenge late, right? Okay, bomb. This is why we have to do the homework, because it works. I'm not holding back. In fact, what we're about to talk about today, I literally was just talking about on a paid call. So that's how good this is. I'm like, wow, that's a funny coincidence. Vulnerable post totally kicked up my engagement. I know. Okay, so that makes me really excited to share this with you guys. So before we can get any sales, we have to accept what I'm saying now. We have to accept the fact that people do have the money. If you have questions about that, we're not going to go really deep into this, but I'm so happy for you. But if there are questions right now where you're like, how do I shift that? What if I'm finding this? What if I think this? Whatever. Put them in, because I'd love to answer them, okay? The fact of the matter is, people do have the money. I've had clients of all ages, of all backgrounds, of all financial situations hire me for $20,000. I've had people who are doing amazing in their business and who are well off hire me for $20,000. But I've also had 21-year-old, people who are actually struggling and not making any money or barely any money in their business hire me. And they do that in all sorts of ways. Credit cards, loans, borrowing from their parents, lawsuits, like so many ways. Money that was left through some type of, what's that called when someone passes away? Handed down to them, kind of. Like literally all sorts of ways. And one thing I have a lot of my clients do, and in my paid programs, I wasn't planning on saying this because I'm giving away a lot right now, is make a list, challenge yourself to make a list of, let's say, 20 ways. Honestly, I make a lot of my clients do 50, okay, because there are 50 ways. There's way more than that. There's so many ways. But 20 ways that people could have the money to pay you. So for me, I would say 20 ways that somebody could have $20,000. So whatever your highest paid offer is, I want you to do this, okay? Homework. Who's going to do that? Like examples, all those things I just said. Somebody could have a great job, not make any money in their business. Somebody could have literally no job right now and be pinching pennies, saving money, but your program is worth it to them to either put on a credit card or pay out of their savings. I've had clients, young 20s, have well over $20,000 in savings and pay me that way. But they're not living like a lavish lifestyle because that's their savings, but they're choosing to pay for this work through their savings by choice. I never tell them, like, just pay for it with your savings. Like, it's a choice. But there's so many ways that people have a lot more money than we think. So you've got to expand your mindset. Whenever I go out in public, I pay attention to any proof that there's a ton of money. Okay? I live in a really great area, actually. But everywhere in the world has areas with people that don't have money, even amazing areas that are like, oh my God, like you go to California, people are so rich in California. And there's plenty of people in California that don't have a lot of money. But anyway, my point is, I don't care where you live, go out in public, even if you drive one town over, Starbucks, Target, literally Walmart. You can go to Walmart and do this. Pay attention to all the proof that there's a lot of money. People with overflowing carts, a nice car, if you drive by a Land Rover or a sports car of any type, or even a nice truck, trucks aren't cheap. Like, that's proof there's a lot of money in this world. every woman that you see, Google, if you don't know, because I didn't even know what Louis Vuitton or Chanel was 2 years ago. Google what those bags look like. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, if you don't already know, because I didn't. And pay attention to when you start seeing those, because I see Louis Vuitton bags everywhere now. And when I first heard of that, I was like, who? I literally have my wallet right here. Not that I'm like showing it off, but like now I have it. But I was like, who has the money? Nobody has the money for that. Now I look around and I'm like, oh, my neighbor has the money for that. Like everybody I see out in public does. So my mind has just expanded. Like so many people have money. The person in front of you in the drive-thru of McDonald's likely has a lot of money in some way or another, even if they're living poor. Okay. They may not be willing to spend the money on the Big Mac. Not saying they should. And so they get off the dollar menu, but they have $100,000 in the bank. Okay. There's so many people with money, and there's so many ways people have money. And just because someone's not making it a certain way or living a certain way doesn't mean they don't. We make so many assumptions and beliefs in our mind. Anyway, I wasn't planning on saying any of that. It's a little money rant, but whew, Lakeisha, I go to Beverly Hills all the time. Makes me feel abundant AF. Yeah. And I think it's even more powerful when you go out, like, you know, wherever you live or somewhere where it's like you wouldn't consider it like a rich area, obviously Beverly Hills. But especially when I go somewhere where it's like, this isn't a rich area, but then you look and you're like, there's a lot of money around here. You know, every car in a restaurant parking lot, people that are affording to go out to eat, sure, not everybody, but that's just proof that there is extra money, that there is abundance right now in the world. Okay, cool. And instead of when we pass, you know, nice houses or nice cars, we're like, oh my God, that person must be rich. That person must have some, we get negative. It's weird. But anyway, okay. Speaking of languaging shifts, if you can get behind the fact that there is a lot of money in the world, there you go. You're going to be so much better off promoting your business. But the languaging shift I really want to talk about today is in your content. Okay? So, there's a lot to say here. The biggest tip, which is going to sound really simple, but we're going to go deep into it, is speak to your ideal client. You're like, Taylor, I know that. Like, thanks. Speak to your ideal client. Your ideal client has the money or access to the money to do your program. Why would they be your ideal client if not? So that is a part of your ideal client. That's a big thing we forget. Your ideal client wants to work with you. Do you know how many people, they write down their ideal client and then they go, but I don't know if this person wants to work with me, but I don't know if this person has the money. That's why they're your ideal client. It has to be a part of it. So your ideal client has the money or access to it or is willing to get it. Okay. Your ideal client wants to work with you. They want to change this. It feels as simple as common sense why this work is important and a non-negotiable to them. Whatever else you want to say. Your ideal client is probably a very driven person. They're probably ambitious. They probably have a bigger picture. So many people come to me and they say things like, I want to help people, hit all these goals and do so much better in life and whatever. And then they're like, but nobody's that ambitious. Nobody has all these goals like me. Nobody cares. Or people who teach health, for example, different things in health, healing different parts of the body, etc. And then they say, but nobody cares about that. Your ideal client needs to care about that. That's just a requirement to put in. And like literally, I keep looking down. It's like, write down your ideal client and put that on paper. They care about this. It's common sense to them that this is important, etc. Okay, does this make sense? And then when you write your content, write to this person. And I know some of you have worked with me before and have heard this before because like it's so important. So hey, but it's a good refresher. And a lot of you may never be hearing this before. And I find when people hear this for the first time, they're like, oh, it makes so much sense. So what a lot of people do in the online space is they, before you do all this work and you shift your mindset and you learn about the languaging and your copy and stuff, you're probably going to be talking a lot of the time to, you're probably going to attract a lot of people who aren't the right fit. It's part of the process, right? So now you've had dozens of people come to you who don't see why it's important, aren't driven enough, don't have the money, and you become annoyed. Who's guilty? Because I know a lot of you are annoyed right now of your people, of your audience. They get annoyed and they're like, oh my God, these people aren't driven. These people don't understand the point of investing. These people don't understand this. The people aren't willing to do what it takes. And so what happens is these people with huge hearts and huge ambitions to help get annoyed and start ranting and staying in a negative energy all the time and talking to the wrong people and kind of like shunning the wrong fits and or convincing the wrong fits to become the right fit. Like, gosh, I wish I could think of an example on the spot of this, but there's so many. It's just like one of my go-to examples, which is like not really negative, but it's this post that probably almost every one of you has written. Almost every coach has written the post, why you need to invest in coaching. Or almost every business coach at one point has written the post, why coaches need coaches. And I actually agree with those statements. But the thing is, I'm talking to people who want to invest. I'm talking to people, like when I hired a coach, it wasn't because my coach constantly talked about having a coach. In fact, I could be wrong. I don't think I even really knew my first coach's coach until I worked with her. Like I wasn't like, oh, okay, she has a coach and that's helping her, so I need a coach. I was watching this person. I was magnetized by her energy. I loved the life that she lived. I loved that she was healthy and making $5,000 a month and like all this stuff. So I hired her for $5,000. That's it. I was drawn to the coaching world. I was drawn to having a coach. I liked it. I saw the benefit of what she taught, and I knew I wanted to have a life closer to hers. I think because of you, I never wrote that post. Yes. Now, here's the thing is, occasionally, if you're writing it from a good place, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that post specifically, but it is wrong. It is ineffective when it's coming from a negative energy and you're thinking that you're just surrounded by people who don't believe in coaching or investing in themselves, and you need to prove to them that they need to. It's like the coach, like every single one of their posts, they talk about why investing is important. It's like, you shouldn't invest because you have to have a coach. You shouldn't invest because you have to invest. You should invest because you feel drawn to it. So it's so much better to share your energy and attract like energy. Okay? So here's the thing that this is really going to bring the point home for you, okay? I'm like, oh yeah, that thing I always say is really good too. The thing is, when you're writing stuff like that, let's say you're writing to people who don't want to do the work. That's my example. That's a good example. You're so annoyed. People don't want to do the work. They don't want to work. They don't want to hustle. They don't want to, do it scary. You're so annoyed and sick of that. So you write a post to those people telling them you have to do the work. You have to do it's hard, whatever. Okay? You have your own opinions on that. It's not a hustle conversation, but it's, you do have to do scary things and do the work and show up. Totally. I agree. But you're doing it from an annoyed place. Have anyone seen a post like that? And the thing is, the people who are like you that are on the same page that you would probably freak out and be so excited to work with, they're reading it like, hell yeah, okay, I totally agree with her. We're on the same wavelength. But they're not really reading it like, she is so right, that is so good. But they're just like, you go, I totally agree with you. And then the people that are paying the most attention are the people that are like triggered, I don't know, and they're doubting you, but they're not, they're like, that's the way I can explain it. All the triggered people or the disagreements people are giving it all the attention. And the people that are on the same page as you, who you would love to work with and actually should work with and could help the most, are like, you go, I totally agree, and then on their way. Because you're not speaking to them, and they can tell that. they see your energy is directed at this group, not them, this group. So while they totally agree with you and love it and might give you a like, they're not giving you enough attention and they don't feel drawn in. But what if, instead of always trying to either push away the bad fits or change the bad fits or whatever we're trying to do with that, instead we try to call in and rally. For some reason, that word kind of feels accurate to me, even though I don't exactly know what it means. But like rally the right people. So this might feel weird or different because it's not what everybody is doing. But when you take a stand and are like, we are the people who do the work, who show up, who love investing in ourselves, who love growing, who love this, who see, if you teach health, it's like you see working on your health is just a common sense, natural thing that you have to do next, you know? Then those people are like, she gets me. This is my person. I've been looking for her. Sign me up. Does this make sense? Hi, Melina. I'm always happy to see you. So that's that. Does that make sense? Now, you could do straight up, straightforward posts that are like, you know, kind of what I was just saying, like, we are these people that do this and that and whatever, or you just sprinkle this in. So after hearing this, what I hope, thank you, what I hope is that as you write your post, you're like, oh, I see how I'm doing that here. Let me try to speak to the right person instead. I think we think that the people that are on the same page with us must already have the coach or must already be where we're at or be there already. It's not true. Like, I've always been this ambitious and against the grain, you know, like I like to do what feels right to me, even if my family or society doesn't agree with it. I've always been like that. I've always known I wanted like a life of freedom. I wanted to have as much vacation as I wanted. I didn't know that it was possible. Let me turn on my do not disturb because I know my phone's been ringing all day. But I've always been like that. I've always wanted that. Didn't always have a coach. And there's plenty of times now where I've always had a coach. There's been like maybe a month or 2 months total in the entire last 4 years that I have not had a coach. But the cycle is I'm about to wrap up with a coach, maybe in the next month, 2 months, couple of weeks. And I'll know that that relationship is complete, but I won't exactly know who's next. So I know that, and I'm like, maybe I won't have a coach. Maybe I will. I don't know, but I don't know who it will be. Whatever. But I know this is about complete. And then someone will come in, and they'll be speaking my language. They'll be my kind of person, but at a higher up income level or level of freedom or whatever, ease. And I'll be drawn in. Because I hire coaches via marketing. I don't hire coaches usually on word of mouth or anything like that. I just stumble across them. I'm like, this is my person. This is my kind of person. So just because you're talking to people who are ambitious, driven, willing, all of those things does not mean that like they're already taken, you know? So keep that in mind. Don't be afraid to speak to that perfect fit dream client because, well, if they were that amazing, they'd already have a coach. No, they don't because you're the soulmate coach. Or it's perfect timing for their next investment or perfect timing for when they're totally ready. And here's the other thing. People wake up every single day ready to change. So I always relate this to like health or weight loss or a big lifestyle change in that area. Like for me, hi Maria. It's like we just saw each other. For me, I can't keep track of how long ago this was, but a while ago, I had lost 30 pounds and then I kept it off for like over a year now. Yeah, I think over a year now. Except now being pregnant. That's going to be in the past shortly. But still, I did that. And that's the longest I had ever kept weight off, like by far. And the longest I ever stuck to just something that worked for me. ever. So that didn't happen because somebody was shouting at me about lifestyle change or a way to eat, or it didn't happen that way. It happened because I struggled with it for so long, okay? And then one day I literally, and I've heard a lot of people who've lost weight in like a good way and kept it off have a very similar story. I just woke up one day and it was like, cool, this is done. Like, I'm actually going to do it the right way. I'm not dieting. I'm not doing any of that. Like, I'm going to be healthy, whatever that means, you know? And then I lost 30 pounds pretty fast, like 4 or 5 months. And then I kept it off for over a year after. That's crazy. And I did that by hiring people, buying programs and stuff like that, and being supported. But if somebody would have been marketing to me the day before, I wouldn't have been ready. So I woke up ready. I woke up done. I woke up with a new mindset, and I woke up with a decision made. And then I found someone online who was high vibe, who is showing her own energy and how she takes care of herself and how she puts herself first, and who was loving, and who, how else would I describe her marketing? Because it was really good. Who was just rallying up her people, literally doing this perfectly, okay? And I worked with her long term. So that's how it happened. And I did a good job. And I would tell people to work with her and buy her stuff, and I would shout her out anytime. So I think that's a dream customer client, you know? So that's how it works. So she was unwilling for people, you know, all those people who aren't going to do the work, aren't going to stick to it, all those people that probably annoy her and people in that industry. She wasn't talking to them. She was talking to people who were like done, ready to do it, ready for a change forever, lifestyle, you know? And then that was me. So that's how it works. Same thing. Like, that's what I see with business clients, business coaching clients. It's like, I've had people I talked to a few weeks prior who are like, just not ready yet. Like, they are, and I know I can help them, and it's annoying, but they're scared. They're not sure. They're not sure if it's possible for them, all this stuff. And then they come back in a couple of weeks and they're like, I am so done with that mindset. I'm so done holding myself. This is what people tell me. I'm so done holding myself back. I'm so done playing small. I'm so done with the excuses. I'm so done letting fear stop me. I'm so done being scared. And they say, and I'm so done rushing on all this stuff. Then they say, I'm making this happen no matter how long it takes, no matter what it takes. I'm ready. And then they invest. They don't rush the process. They let it happen, and it happens. But preaching at the person who's, you know, still letting fear get in their way, not helpful for me. You know, that didn't change them. Their own bullshit changed them. And that's just how the world works. So people are changing themselves. You don't have to do that in your content. You're not going to be able to do that in your content. So I'm never trying to change anybody, but I'm here whether they're changed or not. And I'm also never trying to push the bad fits away, because I've had almost all of my clients were too scared the day before. So I'm not like, you know, F you, everybody who's too scared. You aren't my people. But I'm like, for the people that woke up today, finally done being scared, I'm here. And I've been here, and I'll be here tomorrow too. Make sense? What do you guys think? Hi, you guys who are hopping on. Whew, I feel like I just went on a preaching sermon. I don't know. I was telling Maria this morning, I've been like teaching all week because I have this, and I had a membership call, and I had a course call, and like my whole schedule is just like teaching this week. And I'm like, okay, I didn't know I had so much to teach on. But yeah, so what I just said to you is language. That is exactly what you say in your posts. I think awesomeness. Yes. Preach, girl. Yes. That's what you say. So the thing is this is more of an energetic thing, and it's more of something to pay attention to. So there's no certain type of post to write. to do this right, it's just paying attention now when you're writing your content. Where are you speaking to the perfect fit people that are ready as of today? Or where are you speaking to the people who are annoying you or who aren't ready or trying to convince or any of that? Okay, that's all. There's not really, yesterday I gave you a post structure. That's not what today is. However, languaging wise, like Taylor, what exactly could I say? Replay what I just said and see if it fits your person, because it probably does. But also pretend or imagine, and a lot of the times your people who've signed on recently with you have said these exact words to you or very similar phrases that you can use. And so I'll say things like, if you are so done with boom, 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 and you are so ready and fully committed to boom, 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 this program's for you. This offer is for you. I'm here for you. So that'll be a big part of my pitch. And a lot of the times my content that is like motivational or whatever has stories of me, but I'm talking a lot about who I am and who I was being when I was getting great results and as I was transforming my life and my business. And people will resonate with that. They're like, they get that that's the secret, and then they become that person and they want to sign on. So that's kind of like how you do it. Okay? Cool. Jessica says so good. So it seems like you guys are getting it. That's good. If there are any questions, now is the time to ask. Is it literally 1:39? Wow. Okay. I thought this was going to be a lot shorter, but we just like went off. The prompt for today, little broad, but I just don't want to limit you guys. So whatever, I have a point here. Whatever you feel called to write about today, a story, if you just want to be motivational and just share something, a lesson you've learned, like it could be anything. If you want to just go straight up sales post about your program, like you can go any angle. But I want you to write a post that calls in your ideal client now with this new perspective. And I think that this is a really, really, really good opportunity to pitch. So most of you have a program or something to sell or could at least get people on the phone. That I would really encourage you to just pitch today. Lakeisha literally started this challenge yesterday and got a client. So you guys can get a client today. I expect more people by tomorrow to be on here celebrating their clients and their sales. So in this post, write whatever you want to write. You want to share a story, you want to share a lesson, you want to share a tip, totally fine. But I want you to also include who your person is, who you help. What are they so done with? What are they so ready for? And also include their potential transformation. So I'll always share, like, if you're so done with boom, 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 and you're so ready for blah, 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 I know I can help you get to 6 figures. I know I can help you lose the last 20 pounds. I know I can help you feel, finally aligned in a healthy relationship with food. And then tell them how. And this program is going to help you do it. And this call is our first step. Cool? Use your headline tip that you learned from me in module 1. Use this opening up thing, you guys, that we've been talking about in days. I can't believe, is it literally day 4? I can't believe that. But the tips about opening up that we literally talked about in day 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Use that in this too. I would really challenge you guys. It's just like bonus tips, wrapping everything together. Oh, I'm really excited for tomorrow. Yeah, open up. I always tell clients, include one line of story in every single post, at least. So I always just include at least one line that's like, oh, I've been there. In fact, one time, blah, 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 blah. At a bare minimum. Or, I know how to do this. That's why in 1 year I grew my business to blah, 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 blah. At least one little line of like factual story. But usually much more than that. Woo! I need to like stretch it out. Cool. So that's the prompt. Tomorrow is going to be an epic day. We're talking about my CWC method, which is something I teach in my paid programs to all my clients. literally it's the foundation of my business. Like if there's one thing you need to know about strategy, this is it. And it's the entire cycle for me. It's exactly what creates an endless cycle of clients. So you're going to love it. It's not necessarily a content tip, more so a business foundation and how I do business. It's so good. I was just talking to Audrey, my friend Audrey, about it. And she told me, she's like, I still use that every single day. And she told me that she has, she teaches it to her clients, and she has one specific client who's been able to use it in her business and in her husband's business. So it's really freaking good. And I've been teaching it for a long time. It's actually probably, I didn't even know this at the time, but it's like the first thing that like came to me, like a download and like a very unique way of thinking and doing things, but it's so simple. Okay, so pumped. Do your post and let me know how it goes tomorrow. And just release it and let it be in the world. But I have no doubt that this can start getting you inquiries, calls booked, sales. This is good stuff. Okay? So here's the thing, you guys. Today's the last like content tip day. Tomorrow is going to be so valuable to learn the foundation of the business and what actually creates clients. You're going to get a lot out of that. But you still might be wondering all these things, you know, like, how do I actually grow the audience? What are different strategies I could be using? How much do I post? How do I, what's the question I always get? Like, how do I cycle through these posts? Or like, how many sales posts? How many nurture posts? Like, all the technicals of business. Like, what do you do every day? What are the exact tasks? Because I think if I could only do one thing in my business, it would be content. But there's more to it than that, obviously. So all those things, like, what do you actually do? How do you do it? And what is all this goodness behind the scenes of all of it? That is all in Unleash. And I know that a lot of people who are newer, whether you haven't invested in your business before or most people who do Unleash have, but it's not working. It wasn't specific enough. It wasn't adaptable enough. It's not working. And it was too much. Like, I've invested in some marketing and business courses that even I couldn't do. 2 of them. 2 really big courses I've done. I was like, what? That is insane. I know. So yeah, no. Unleash is like literally the simplest way to a 6-figure year in this type of business, in an online coaching or service-based business. Simplest way to market yourself to a 6-figure year. It's easy. It's simple. It's like the deep specifics of the bare bones. Okay? If you do everything on Unleash, you will have a 6-figure year. I've seen it time and time and time and time and time again. And the cool thing is, did I put the link in here? Yeah, I did. The link is in the description of the video, and I've shared this our last few days. But today and tomorrow are the last days to get the bonus, which is like crazy. The 6-figure ambition bonus. Actually, Sandra's on here, and Sandra made those worksheets for me, workbooks. Do you remember that? Sandra, if you're still on here. There's like 13 workbooks for 6-figure ambition, and they are so in-depth. Every single step-by-step of every single strategy I've literally ever used, I'm not exaggerating, is in these workbooks. I don't sell them anymore or run that program anymore because I'm not as interested in teaching the 1, 2, 3s technical how-tos of everything. I like teaching the big picture strategies and the exactly what I do now and the simplistic stuff. But 6-figure ambition, yeah, Sandra, I'm glad you're here. She says it's so good. So in-depth. We work so hard on those workbooks. They are like intense. I was selling that program at $4,000 because it was like anything anybody would ever need to know. So I do want to say this. I also don't sell it because it's a lot. It's a lot of information. And I would rather bring people through a program that is faster pace, that you can get through faster and teaches you like the simplest way to do it. So that's why I think Unleash is a far more incredible program, honestly. That's why I teach Unleash now over Six Figure Ambition. But what's cool about Six Figure Ambition, and I have some other programs like this, like my launch course, is I look at it now as more of a reference. So it's like, okay, I'm ready to run some Facebook ads. Let me pull out those Six Figure Ambition workbooks on Facebook ads, which they're literally called that, so it's easy to find, and refresh my mind. Okay, my email marketing's not doing so hot. Let me go to that Six Figure Ambition module and go through that. It's all written out as well. So Unleash is video modules, which I love because you get the energy, you get to ask me questions. It's like coaching. It's the way I can coach the most people at once. But Six Figure Ambition, and I don't do this anymore, is all written out. Like every module is like at least 10 pages or so. Every single word is written out. It's crazy. And that's really great because you can just so quickly grab your workbook, go through it, get every single detail. This has never been included with Unleash before. I don't know if it will be again, and it won't be for this launch after tomorrow. And it literally sold for $4,000 to many people. I've taken over 60 people through that program. I just personally don't want to read those workbooks again because I don't need to. So I'm really, really excited. And I think together, they're literally the perfect pair because you get these videos, you get the energy, you get the coaching. That's so fun to listen to as you do stuff, to re-listen to. But then you have these workbooks. I keep wanting to say worksheets, but they're literally workbooks that are so easy to reference and go through and take you step by step. Pictures, graphics, like the visuals, like tech, like literally text and prompts and copy and all this stuff that you can use, like so good. So really excited to be able to give that to people because it's super, super valuable and rarely offered. So that's only until tomorrow. And here's what's really cool. All those testimonials on the Unleash page are from people who've only done Unleash. And then there's a few under the Six Figure Ambition section of people who've only done Six Figure Ambition. I almost want to open it up. I think I want to, so I will. Both of these programs are like my best performing programs. Like people that do both of these programs create six-figure years. So together, that's incredible. Let me see here. Yeah, like with Unleash alone, Christy had her first $15,000 day within a month. Susie had her first $25,000, so crazy, month, the first month. Audrey had her first $10,762 day, or month, day, soon, month. I keep wanting to say day. I need to tell Audrey that. $10,760 month, the first month of the program. Fabi had her first $10,000 client. I believe that was in her first time going through it, but I don't want to say for facts. Shannon, oh my God, so crazy. Shannon's done like incredible, insane things. She 5x'd her investment in 3 weeks. Made over $5,000. What? Shelly's on here. There's so many more I could read to you. Anna came in here, never made $1 in her business before, made her first $4,000 in the program. Daphna, her first $10,000 client, commented on my post the other day that she's taken so many courses and this is the best course she's ever taken. Where's Six Figure Ambition? Oh, here it is. Six Figure Ambition, the bonus, this is just the bonus. Elizabeth had her third 10K month in a row with that program. Chelsea had her third pay in full $4,000 client within 5 weeks. So 3 $4,000 clients in 5 weeks, $12,000 cash. Agni had a $9,900 month in sales. So anyway, I'm really proud of these programs too, because when you look at the people who did them, they're very incredible people that now have 6 and multiple 6-figure businesses, which is exactly what the program's about. Both of these programs are about your first 10K month, but they're more so about 6-figure and beyond years. This is the process. So I've done programs as well where it's been not marketed as, but basically this is okay. This is totally fine, but more so hustle your way to a 10K month. Cool. Hustle your way to a 50K month, 20K month. Perfect. But it's not repeatable and you're really tired after and it's a lot of work. This is a sustainable, as simple as possible system for a 6-figure year. Like repeatable, exactly what to do every week, every month, boom, boom, boom. So I like that. There was something else I really wanted to say. Maybe it's for tomorrow because it keeps coming to mind and I'm like rushing away. I'm just really proud of it, you guys, and I'm really excited. And I think that this I don't even really want it to end after tomorrow because it's just, as I'm sharing it with you, I'm just realizing how much of a perfect fit it is to go together, but it ends tomorrow. I promise you that. And Shelly, my assistant, has it used to be that if you could save the checkout page, I shouldn't even tell you this because you can probably do it with a lot of people's stuff. People would like save the link to the checkout, and even after the timer on the page would expire and the page would leave, they could still get the early bird pricing and the bonuses late. And I never really cared too much because it was always like one person that would do it. But Shelly fixed that, and she's not letting anybody sneak in late. So that's my assistant. So she's not letting anyone sneak in. Sorry. Cool. But you could try it on someone else's stuff. She told me that, and I was like, oh, okay. I guess that's okay. Yeah. Cool. Sandra, I love those bonuses. I do too, especially because you helped me with them. That was like a while ago. That was awesome. Awesome, you guys. So thank you for being here. I'd love to have you on Unleash. The link is thetaylorlee.com/unleash. All the details are there. You can message me on Facebook. You can message me on Instagram. I would love to answer your questions, especially as we're in the final countdown. And Shelly is on the sales page because she messaged me while I was on there. So you can reach out to her too on the page. Cool? Cool. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Have an amazing day. I hope to see you in Unleash. Bye, you guys.